Hello everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot and Astrology. I'm Denise. Thank you if you are one of my regulars, and welcome if you're a new subscriber. We have such a wonderful community here. So I do weekly readings on Trump, and this is the one for this next week, January 14th through the 20th. Yeah, 2024. Gotta get that year right this time. I think I messed up last week. So anyway, let me just swap out cameras and bring over my table. Okay, so I'm starting with the Visions of Life Tarot by Tarot Studio, if you like this deck. And I'm leaving the cards upright for this one because the artwork is very unique and is different. Seems it doesn't really seem to me to hold true to the Rider-Waite-Smith, and I will be just using the Rider-Waite right after, along with the Kipper, and we'll see how fast I can go. So anyway, Celtic Cross for Trump's week. What is coming through for him this next week? So far, it hasn't been too good. But man, you know, I guess we can hats off him, or give him hats off for sticking to his guns. Family matters. Oh yeah. Ruined his family fortune. Of course, I guess he just kept on his footstep of his father, you know, with money laundering. Okay, so one thing that's sticking out is that Lawrence O'Donnell, I watched it early this morning. Okay, so Forces in Motion, he's being reckless and foolish. I think it's just, you know, maybe he thinks he has a new start, but let's see. But anyway, Lawrence O'Donnell made the comment that Trump will be a defendant for life, for the rest of his life. Defendant Trump was the title. Defendant Trump for the rest of his life. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, like, you know, being 77 and the rest of your life you are going to be defending yourself in court? That's pretty much the deal. Yeah. Okay, Forces in Motion. Like I said, off on a new start, new adventure maybe. Also, the Fool card can be a card of accidents, nervous system failures, issues like that. But I think it's more of him just, you know, being foolish and reckless, and then taking too many risks because he just is, you know, an attention whore. He's a fame whore. There's our past. Okay. What he's sitting in, swarming in, stewing in, unable to get away from, is with the King of Swords. Well, he's holding by his principles and his faith in himself, definitely, but his guts are tied up in knots, is the way I'm going to read this card. So he's going to be sitting in his depends as Schittler for the rest of his life, too. He's going to go down in history as Schittler. God. In his recent past, we have, in this deck, it's a stamina card instead of the strength card. So, yeah, I don't know how much stamina he has. I think being the born psychopath that he is, I think that he goes through a lot of crash and burn experiences. Okay, what's hanging over him is feeling defended and worrying about the future. Yeah. His near future, we have achievements. 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, I'd say in his case, it's his connections to dark money. Okay. What he's attracting is criticism, How others are influencing the situation is they're tired of aligning with him, and they're afraid of losing money, losing their own money. They're afraid of investing in him anymore. Excuse me. Distant future. He's going to look for ways to have freedom, but I don't think he's going to get it. I mean, and then the outcome for this week. How do you like them apples? Who's got him by the neck? Who's coming out on social media and basically, getting him? Look at those eyeballs popping out. Yikes. Okay. That one's good. Now let's use just a regular tarot. And I did already allow for reversals. I have it partially shuffled. So, okay. What's coming down the pike for him? And maybe I'll open it up to go beyond this week, because that one was pretty finite for the week. And then I'll use the Kipper to look for legal, how legal issues are going to be going. Right there. Yikes. Okay. He's got the Tower for the forces in motion with this deck. Yikes. So you guys know what the Tower is all about, though, right? But just in case you're brand new, and just in case you're learning tarot, it's different. The Tower is different in the Lenormand than it is in the Tarot. In the Tarot, it is our card of major breakdowns, disasters, some sudden change, some big old breakthrough in your life that, I mean, way back in the day, this would be the king and the king and queen, or queen and maybe the king threw out the queen and her lover. Somebody gets thrown out of their high tower. I think that's probably about right for Trump Tower and all of his issues. His greatest challenge was with the Page of Swords is that he's been watched. When it comes to reverse, he's been watched and surveilled, and information's coming out on him. When the Page of Swords comes through reversed, we're looking at somebody who's accident prone. Issues could be, if you look, just go by the images, could be golfing, but maybe a golfing accident that knocks him off of his perch somehow. He's long been known to be quite the cheater, in golfing. And also, when we have the Page of Swords come through reversed, there's issues with circulatory issues and illnesses of that type, with the lower legs especially. And then other times it's about undelivered actions in the past and promises that were made. Because upright, it can be a lot about planning. Well, reversed, it's lousy plans, and henceforth you don't get the promises that your attorneys made, is what I'm thinking. What he's sitting in is the legal system with the Hierophant. He's sitting in man-made law versus spiritual law versus... This could be the evangelical, extreme base. I call them, like one of my friends when I used to be on Facebook, I had a friend that called it the evangelical Taliban. So, this card could be related to, what's his face, that little Mike Johnson, that dark little creep that's in the house. Man, we've got a lot of majors here already. So, but anyway, the Hierophant card, it's on some level, on the health level, it's ruled by Taurus. So we're talking the upper jaw and the blood and muscles and TMJ issues, you know, and what comes out of his mouth, right? He can hang himself with his own words, and he does it often, right? But this is him having to conform to something. And this is also my card that rules government in the tarot. Okay. Recent past, the Magician is just the proof that he's a liar. What's hanging over him is the Five of Swords. It's our defeat card, upright or reversed. The defeat that's hanging over him, he doesn't have any control there. He might have some control over Mike Johnson and some of the justices on the bench, but, you know, some government officials. But with the Five of Swords, this card up here hanging over him, no control up here in this position. There's no control. And it's weighing down on him, and it's, you know, bugging him. So with the Five of Swords reverse, we're talking he might be open to some change a little bit, but there's still, it's him and his vengeance is what I'm getting there. And oftentimes, because there's such pain and sorrow and troubles and loss, that a person will kind of hide out a bit. So he might be reclusive. And then sometimes, too, this card is funeral. So he might be going to Melania's funeral. Melania's mother's funeral with her. Because he has to. He should. I don't know if he will. But that's a possibility. Okay, near future, Page of Wands. He's going to be talking like the 13-year-old that got sent away to military school and acting like he's all that. He won't mind the attention, won't mind being out in the news. Any news on him is good news, he thinks. He doesn't care because he'll spin it the way he wants. And again, you know, taking risks, just like we had the Fool card with the Visions of Life deck. Okay, what he's attracting, Six of Cups reversed, old childhood wounding and trauma that he's never processed through. Hold on, maybe I bring this camera down a little bit. There we go. That'll make it a little clearer, maybe. And then how others are influencing the situation. We've got Biden, we have President Biden, and we have Trump's old childhood issues with his father and his father's lack of feelings. Even though this didn't come through reverse, I'm getting that off of these two cards. But, so his dad is still kind of haunting him. And, you know, like, boy, did Daddy love me? Why is Daddy always saying, you know, just tough it out, never show any fear, you know, all that. But meanwhile, Biden is working his campaign against Trump. He's speaking out. He's going out and he's speaking out. He might not be yelling like Trump always does, but he is speaking out. Okay, distant future, Six of Wands reversed, so no victory. He's not going to like what is, how people are seeing him. He's going to be seen and heard and recognized, but he's not going to like it is what I'm getting. But a lot of times this card, it will be not being seen and heard and recognized. And that is part of his childhood trauma, I am sure. But, you know, none of us tend to act out our childhood trauma. We just, you know, feel the pain and process it through and then heal it, but not him. So with this being in the distant future, I feel like this card reverse is also somebody with a really big overblown ego, and it could be like some lack of self-confidence. If he had any grace in his life, I would say it was his fall from grace, but we can look at it that way, his fall from grace. The outcome with the Wheel of Fortune reversed, that's not good. That's not good at all. Wheel of Fortune reversed, yeah, will be at the, you know, the fortune's gone. There's no good outcome. at least for this week. I don't know how he could have a positive outcome in his life unless he were to, meet the pain of the past. You know what else the Six of Cups reversed reminds me of too on a health level is memory problems, memory issues. So he's attracting more cognitive dissonance, cognitive issues, major problems there. Emotional issues that need to heal. You know, he needs to grow up emotionally, but he's not. These cards are all very connected here. So it's the blow up of him, not working through any of this old for lifetimes. I mean, I do truly believe he was Mussolini in a past lifetime and Caligula prior to that. So that's not good. But anyway, stuck in the past, really negative, unrealistic. He's not able to grow up, or he hasn't grown up, and that's just, he's going to keep attracting that vicious circle. And if I were to keep going further, we've got the sun reversed. So that's a lack of vitality, lack of life force, health issues. So, okay. Excuse me. Let's go to the, let's use a Kipper. See what comes through here. Oh, Donald John Trump. Well, this could be one of his attorneys. This could be Chris Kais, or that sour guy, sour acid mouth dude. God, that guy's like, it's like a snake. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure that attorney Sauer, the one that argued against immunity, basically made an ass out of himself, but anyway, I do think that he has health issues, I mean, and especially with what's coming through his mouth, through his throat chakra. It's not good. Let's see. Yeah. He's the guy arguing for him. And then this would be, well, let's just get the rest of the cards laid out. Because maybe this first 9 box here will give me some clues as to which case. I think Trump is probably, here's my Jack Smith card. I think he's probably having more and more. He seems to me, I mean, we all age and we all show the wear and tear of life on Earth, but he's looking pretty darn grim. Sitting in court yesterday, it just looked to me like he's like this lizard brain that just spews stuff out. And he hasn't changed his hair his entire life, and that orange makeup and spray tan or whatever he does. It's just so gross. So, okay, right here in the center we have, and his card didn't come through, so I'm just going to focus here first. We have his attorneys, we have his ambitions, we have Don Jr. and Eric are all hallmarks of this card. They're going through a down patch. All of them are. That train has left the station. It's nothing but bad health, down patches, issues, with constant investigations, just like Lawrence O'Donnell was saying last night, that he's going to be Defendant Trump for the rest of his life. You'd think a guy like him could get somebody coming after him. I mean, he has numerous cases, more than those 91 felonies, way beyond that. But you would think that the judicial system could fine him, or at some point, because he's abused the court system in the United States terribly. So anyway, cheating, lying, grifting, distractions. His attorneys are just going to throw up more distractions all week long. They're not feeling good. Trump's not feeling good, but they're in that. That's their work. They don't mind, you know, because it's billable hours for them, for his attorneys. The DOJ is going to continue on with more important discoveries as to how he has lied and cheated and stolen. So I'm thinking this is probably the culmination here of, I don't know if it'll come through next week, but I'm thinking it should. The case with the New York fraud trial. And that's a trial without a jury, so it's just up to Judge Engeron, and he pretty much abused him. He abused that judge. This would be Judge Engeron being abused, taking it, but, you know, that's not going to work out well for Trump later. Because he knows the guy's delay tactic. He knows Trump is just, it's all about the delay, distraction, and that dishonesty. He knows that that's what Trump is committed to. So up here, opening up the week, I think there's going to be some new J6 discovery here. There's discovery that will level Trump, or there's something that comes through. Or on another level too, this could be some community of people that come together and that levels Trump. Going with the four corners, there's no more support in holding Trump's secrets, and something is revealed that has to do with, again, his just, I mean, you know, his depression, his mind that doesn't work right anymore, his OCDs, his germophobia, how insecure and how ignorant he is, and how he just doesn't have a good grasp on reality at all. Okay, so there's that. He's not very encouraged. He's discouraged this week. And, yeah. I mean, yeah, he goes back and forth between Mar-a-Lago and other distractions. But when he goes home to sleep at night or he lays down to rest, he can't. Because nothing but Defendant Trump is on his mind. And following the other corners over here, we're dealing with maybe a new subpoena, maybe a new indictment, but something that has to do with the legal, maybe bills from his attorney, and he just can't handle it anymore. These would be legal documents, any documents that could come through. He's down, you know. He knows that whether or not I do not believe that the guy will get reelected, but whether or not all these court cases can finish in time, it doesn't matter, because he will still be in and out of court for the next, well, like Lawrence O'Donnell was saying, the rest of his life, because how long is he going to live, right? How long is he going to live? We've got bad health linking to the coffin card, fatality, some new issue. When you add these two cards together, it's just like our Six of Cups reverse with mental issues, dementia right here, Alzheimer's, dementia. Maybe he gets moved into a group home. And then everyone else would leave, right? God. There could be, I don't have the imprisonment card to show, you know, like house arrest, but yeah, put him in a padded cell. So, okay, over here, back to the four corners, you know, rut-row, documents and bills and court filings and motions that he just doesn't want to deal with anymore. And Jack Smith is involved. This whole 9 box over here has to do with Jack Smith and some proof of money laundering. That ship has sailed, that train has left the station. That's the, the journey, the soul journey he's on. The rest of his life will be investigations about that as well. And how he has made his fortune by laundering money. And Jack Smith, as this has been dogging him, and he's bound and determined to finish this job and get it going right. And he's headed towards tons and tons of work with lots of supportive, ambitious men working for him, working in his department to expose Trump and cause that change that just probably puts him in a padded cell. God. Let's see. Yeah, Jack Smith has the goods, but he's going to hold his cards close to his chest and hide everything as best he can, because when the important day comes through to go to court, he's the prosecutor, and he's just going to blow Trump out of the water. Let's see if I were to keep going. What other cards? Yeah, Trump is helpless. Might have some support for the money laundering, right? Because that's what they do. They just put it through in and out, just like a casino. And imprisonment, because someone flips. And here's Trump. Okay, here we go. Let's look at this line right here. Try to ignore the other cards. Okay, so now we have, well, here, I'll do it this way. Make it a little easier. There we go. Oops. So now we have Trump's teamwork and partnerships. Like, remember how we had that 3 of Pentacles that would show the, the dark money? That's backing Trump up. And he's probably headed towards somebody flipping on him. I think I got that last week. More flippage than ever before. We have Mark Meadows with an immunity agreement by Jack Smith, or with Jack Smith, and so Trump can look forward to that, and that will be the thing that will get him locked up, and then. It's because of the risky behavior, and there's someone who goes down with him terribly. It's probably Rudy. The mature man can be the card that stands in for all of his cronies, or many of his cronies, or a few of his cronies that are 50 and above. And they're helpless, and they've been watched, and that's it. But that center card there is very telling. So, okay, I'm going to get this uploaded and wish you well. My goodness, try to stay warm. The temperatures are going nuts. We're all just, yeah, our heaters are probably not going to go off for the next several days. And maybe all the way through next week. I'm not sure. It's going to be terrible for me here, but I've just been praying, meditating on everyone feeling like they have warm blankets around them, and there's safety, mucho safety going out. So, okay, take good care. Bye.